Hey guys, B Twice here. Today is Saturday, August 28th. Hope everybody is having a good weekend. We are going to be taking a look at AMD and Disney. AMD was requested of me, and Disney is one of my favorite picks for these upcoming weeks. So let's jump into AMD first. So I've done a lot of videos in the past on AMD, and what I'm seeing is that we're trying to finish off a cycle wave 5 right now. And basically what I'm seeing is that we have a 5-wave impulse to the upside. We've put in a 1, we pulled back for a 2, we popped up for a 3, and it looks like we've set a bottom for our wave 4. So if my count is correct, I put this purple trend line just on here. This is a stop loss line. If we fall beneath the low that we set on August 19th, that's not good because that could mean that this was a wave 5 top and that we're going to be heading lower. And if we do break down to see that happen, we could be heading it all the way down into the 70s. I don't think it'd go that low. I think we'd probably catch support somewhere in the 90s a share, especially because semiconductors are extremely hot sector right now. But with that being said, we need to make sure that we stay above this purple trend line right here, which looks like it's right around 101, something like that. So with that being said, I do think that the wave 4 bottom is in, and the reason I think that is because of the fact that we have the MACD curling, which looks like it's going to be probably a bullish cross this week. There was a lot of call buying yesterday, tens of millions of dollars on calls. And obviously we've had this positive divergence on the RSI, so those are all good signs. So now let's move over a little bit and let's look at some price targets. Okay, so another positive thing, I obviously have the volume shelf over here, so that's what this is, and this is the point of control. When you go beneath the point of control or these shelves, they act as resistance. So obviously once we got beneath it, you can see we came down and acted as support. Then ultimately we broke below it. And it's actually a really good sign that we caught the support right here, because if we would have broke this 102 level, we would have hit 95 very, very fast because there's not a lot of volume down here. So generally when you break those levels, you'll go down to the next major shelf, which would have been 95 a share. So it's good that we caught support at this level, and it looks like we're starting to put in a 5-wave impulse to the upside. We've broke above the point of control. We came back, we back tested the point of control, and then we rallied off of it hard on Friday. So where is this probably going? So it looks like we're putting in a 5-wave impulse that's going to take us for a wave 3 price target of 120. From there, we should see a slight pullback. Our wave 5 price target will be 122, and then that's going to be a higher degree wave 1, where we should probably see a pullback, likely back to this point of control area, and then that will be another dip to buy. Ultimately, we're going to see another there's going to be that 5-wave impulse taking us to 1. We'll see a 3 swing down or something of that nature. Ultimately, we're going to end up putting in another 535 that's going to take us up to somewhere around 140 a share. So I do think AMD is probably going to go between 130 to 140 before we find the total top for this stock, and then we're going to probably see some very, very big downside from there. So AMD dips remain to buy, and I do see 120 as our next price target. Okay, Disney. Disney has been a crazy ride so far since I started covering this. We've had a lot of ability. We've had a lot of different times that we've been able to scalp our positions because it's just been very, very choppy. So what are we seeing? I'm seeing this is that we're trying to finish off a cycle wave 5. So we pulled up for our cycle wave 3 up here. Let me pull this down so you can see it at all-time highs. Ultimately pulled down for our wave 4 bottom, which we set back here in May, and now we're trying to break out. So what have we seen so far? Well, I'm thinking that we've seen a leading diagonal where we had a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Ultimately, after earnings, they had very good earnings, but it sold off very, very heavy. There was a lot of volume that day, and then I put out a video shortly following. I think it was that next day I put out a video on Disney talking about where it was probably going, and I talked about the 174 range being a buy zone because that's where it was likely going. Turns out I was right. We did fall down to the trend line right here. We broke beneath the 50 and 200 day, but not for very long, and now we pop back above it. So where's this thing possibly going? Well, I'm seeing this as a pop up for a 1, pull back for a 2, and then on big volume we were able to break over the point of control, and now we're above this volume shelf. That's a very good thing because now it should act as support. So this 178 range should act as support. I think Disney's going to be seeing 188 as the next price target, and I think we could be seeing it as early as next week. Ultimately, I do think this thing is going to be going into the 200s, but Disney doesn't move that fast, so it wouldn't surprise me if Disney's not above 200 and for several more months. And that's why we'll kind of take it one price target at a time, but my next price target will be this 188 range. So now to talk about a stop loss in case you're in this trade. So as you can see, we have this trend line, and that we've been respecting this trend line on the RSI as well. If we break this, that's going to be my stop loss. I'm not going to worry about, where is the exact value that my wave one started, because that's going to provide more of a loss. If we come back down here, we break through the 50 and the 200-day moving average, and we come lower and we break this volume shelf, there's also a possibility we're going to have a death cross. As you can see, they're about to cross now. So with that being said, we need to hold this level. If Disney comes back down, I would stay in if it tests this trend line, just in case it comes down, test it, and goes back up. If it breaks the trend line, I will be getting out. So there you have it. That's AMD and Disney. Hope you like these videos. If you do, go ahead, hit a like and subscribe.